So in case you guys don't recognize the costume, I'm the sandwich lady from RuneScape. So we're gonna have like some carb heavy, getting bready. Without further ado, let's get cooking. Let's get this bread. We've made stew before in RuneScape, right? We made yellow spicy stew, we made art gumbo, we made curry, and they've all been pretty super. To do this, we are going to heat some butter in a large Dutch oven. After I know they're good, I'll like make them again. If they're bad, I don't want to make them twice, you know? Into each of these, I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of butter. If you're just doing one big batch, you can do 4 tablespoons of butter in the Dutch oven. While that's going, I'm going to cut up some carrots. Each of these pots is going to get 1 large carrot. I am just going to use baby carrots and I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And you want to grab a large knife and just... So I like to kind of chop down the middle of the celery and then just cut down the edges. Each one of these is going to get about 1 large carrot worth of carrot and approximately 1 stalk of celery. What do I do with this? I guess we cut it into little circles. If you want to take your leeks and put them in your sink and then tell your family members, "Oh, gee, there's a leak in my sink," and then your mom will have a heart attack and die, and that would be really sad, so maybe don't do that one. But maybe you could, because then you just say, "It's a prank, bro," and then mom comes back to life and you're jester maxing. I have no clue what I'm doing, but if it turns out in the end, do what I do, and if it doesn't turn out, do something else. I'm gonna start the pita bread. This is active dry yeast. We're gonna pour 2 teaspoons of yeast, minus what spilled, into our small little bowl. And I'm gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. If you just stick your fingers in and it feels like cold bath water, then you're good. And you wanna pour your 1 cup of cold bath water into yeast and sugar. And just mix it up to wake up the yeast from its slumber. That's gonna sit for 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm gonna add chicken thigh. And we're gonna put that in this one. And you just cook it out. And so we've got about 1 pound of chicken in here and about 1 pound of tofu in here. I'm not gonna add the full thing. Maybe like that much. 1 potato to each. And you want to use Yukon Gold or Charlotte potatoes, the elite ingredient for this, in fancy writing and highlighted. I'm nothing if not elite, but I managed to get 1, and I don't think it's purple on the inside, but we'll see. I'll cut it in half. Wow, Menuguide's acting like she's never seen a purple potato before. It tastes better than regular raw potatoes do. This is the best day of my life. But we also add a bay leaf to each and some other herbs. It's really strange to me there's no liquid in this. Parsley, thyme, and tarragon. 2 sprigs of each of these into each pot. Now 2 sprigs of tarragon. It's a little derpy looking, but it's okay. Whoa, hello. Wow. All right, my yeast timer is ringing. I do want to at least get some tarragon in this. So each one will have 2 little sprigs of tarragon. And also 2 sprigs of thyme. We're just gonna add a little bit more thyme. Thankfully with cooking you can do that. In life, once you're out of time, that's it. And now that we've added all of our herbs to both of these, we will let them cook for 25 minutes. Burn counter is up to 2. What's this? Skibbity Ohio Rig Sigma Gyat. This looks kind of interesting. It's all foamy and awake. And we're gonna add about 2.5 cups of stock to each of these. And I thought it was weird that we weren't cooking it with anything. Yeah. And I'm gonna put that in here. All right, so 1, 2 and a half. Since I have my measuring spoons right here, I'll measure a teaspoon into each, which seems like quite a bit. And then we're going to turn it down once it's boiling, and it will simmer for 25 minutes at that point. We will resume our pita bread. I think I'm supposed to put a baking sheet in the oven with nothing on it. I just poured the yeast mixture into a bigger bowl so we can add some flour. So this smells like yeast. And to this, we add 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So we're gonna measure 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I feel like a jailer with a set of keys, except it's measuring cups. But wait, there's more. We're gonna add 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour. Add in that 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour. We also wanna add salt and olive oil. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. It's like 1 teaspoon. I don't have a 1/2 teaspoon, so we're just gonna wing it and say that's 1.5 total. And 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I have never made a bread recipe that uses olive oil, so I'm a bit excited about it. And we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 1, 2, 3. I screwed up a little bit because I don't know how to read. We'll see how this turns out. So I might need glasses, but if you look really, really, really closely, it doesn't say 2.5, it says 2 1/4. I know what I can do. Say a prayer and tell my family I love them. And grab a quarter measure and scoop some of this out. That kind of worked. 2 1/4 cups of plain all-purpose flour. Good to know. And now we can mix it on low to combine for about 2 minutes. Now, I'm unmuting for a second because I'm just curious. Do I have to go twice as long if I only have one little mixer? I screwed up again, guys. So, we were not supposed to mix this all together yet. We were just supposed to mix the flour and olive oil and salt. Then, we were supposed to add the mixture with the yeast. I'm just going to keep mixing it with my hands because I'm a little afraid of the mixer at this point. And we wanted to mix it until it was smooth and elastic for about 7 or 10 more minutes after the shaggy dough formed. Not trusting the process and hoping that we still get good results. I just feel like this is supposed to somehow get mixed in. We want this to be smooth and elastic, and it's kind of getting there. There's a few little crumbs that haven't been fully incorporated, but I'm happy-ish with it right now. I'm mostly pleased with it. Now it says we need another bowl. This is going to become problematic shortly. This has become problematic. We're good, we're good. Drizzle the inside of a large bowl with olive oil. Ideally, leave your dough in the first bowl. So we coat the bowl, and then we do this. That was me making things up as I go along. And then I think you just pour olive oil on your hand and rub it on the top and coat the sides of the bowl too. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but I think this is the way you do it. And so that's going to get covered with either cling film or a damp towel. We're going to let it rise in a warm place for about 1 hour. These are just out of a package, so they should be clean. I think I'm going to put another cloth on top. But I'm going to go put this in the other room where it's slightly warmer. I'm worried because this doesn't feel like it's really risen. Now we're going to just do the next step in our pizza, which is we take some giando. And I've made this like 5 times now. It's a really good bread recipe on its own, and it's dry. So we still managed to get a little bit of a crust on top, which I'm not thrilled about, and it hasn't risen very much. You gotta just trust the process. We're going to divide that into 4 pieces. I'm going to take a knife to like cut it more accurately, I guess. Oh, I was supposed to flour my work surface. Whoops. Go like this, and this, and this. This has been floured. If not perfectly equal, it's all right. I'm not going to read to see if I'm doing it correct or incorrect. I'm just going to pour olive oil on each one and call that trusting my natural instincts. I'm making 4 balls, and I'm gonna just pull off this crusty piece from the top. I don't want that to bake into it because I feel like it gets weird if you do. Wing it, put it in between my hands, cup your balls, and I need to check on my stew because it's been simmering for 25 minutes. Mousy. Oh no. Oh no. No, let's go this way. Okay, you can lick the fork right now, that's fine. Don't you want something even better? No, not the bread. We're gonna go over back to where the stew is. This stew has been stewing. One of them has chicken in it, so we are going to remove that chicken and set it aside so that it can cool. I'm guessing it's fully cooked. So honestly, we've got some good stewy stuff in here. While the chicken is cooling, I'm gonna whisk 2 tablespoons of cream and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And you just want to give your cream a shake. 1 and 2 tablespoons of cream. I'm rather gonna just use the half tablespoon, and I'll use it twice. So that's half a tablespoon and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm just gonna kind of mix it with a fork. Honestly, it's getting to a very thick consistency. It's like oobleck almost. I suppose it would be possible with any liquid, wouldn't it? I'm nervous about this one. It's an intermediate recipe, but it seems pretty difficult. It does remind me a little bit of the brulee supreme with the egg yolks and just the heat consistency that we're gonna need. And you'll see why in a second. So we were supposed to measure 2 tablespoons out of the cup of cream that we had. I didn't. Yeah, you know, I'm going to say that's about good enough. It looks like we have about a cup. Mix all of this together, I think. And we're going to add 4 egg yolks. So we add the cornstarch slurry. And then we add the remaining approximately 1 cup of cream. We're going to just get the yolks. And I'm nervous about this. I don't like doing the eggs thing. But I guess it's easier to do it this way, because at least this way we can get some shell in there and it's okay. I'm going to just put the egg yolks in there, and there is some sharp shell pieces. So be careful. I don't want anyone getting hurt on eggshell. And if your hands get a little eggy, really that's just you being a chef. And no one said it was going to be easy or glamorous, but I'm telling you, it's easy and it's glamorous. So be a chef. Do that again, and I accidentally broke that egg yolk. It's okay. So if they break, it's fine, because I believe they get mashed up anyway. There's a piece of shell. Did I break this egg yolk too? Look at that. That could have been a chicken. Okay, so we add these to each other and then whisk until smooth. And I'm really curious how, despite everything, we still got eggshell in there. Whisk all of this until it's smooth. And it's turning a really pretty shade of yellow. It seems like it's pretty smooth now. Okay. This is complicated, chat. I'm gonna do it with regular broth and with chicken broth. What we do is we take half a cup of each broth and scoop it out. I can use this one for the chicken broth, so I'll start with that, I think, and come over here. If I kind of tilt it, I can sort of filter out the goodies and get not as many goodies in it. Not that I don't love goodies. It's a little less than half a cup, but we should be okay to work with this. You want to add it little by little, little by little. You don't want to curdle these eggs and make scrambled eggs. And then whisk constantly. So it's not curdling yet. We're going to add a little bit more. I kind of added a lot, mixing it so that we don't scramble the eggs. And I love scrambled eggs, right? I love them just as much as the next person, but not in my stew. And I did have a little bit of an issue when I made the ginger gnomes, and they were still fantastic. But we want to add, about half of this. And then when there's about a 1/4 cup left, we will add it all in one steady stream. And now we just pour all of this in at once, but we have to whisk it with enough intensity we do not curdle these eggs. Stir the stock and cream mixture into the soup in the Dutch oven and let cook, stirring frequently until it's slightly thickened for about 5 to 7 minutes. My concern now is I'm going to have to grow an extra set of hands so I can do that again. I think we're just going to do one and then do the other one and just let this go for 7 minutes, and hopefully after that it's stable. And stir, stir, stir. I think it says frequently, not necessarily constantly. This one looks very thick. Grab this, and we're going to add this. That's hot. An actual whisk. Motherfucker. Sorry, that was really, really hot and I burned myself. So I just added the entire quarter cup at once. So we're going to whisk this and try not to curdle anything. We don't panic. We just keep stirring. And I'm hoping that this is salvageable. It's like old school RuneScape when you do sailing. Another quarter cup and add that. And while I'm whisking this with one hand, I will return to that other one. Add that into here. Those potatoes are very soft because I don't want to make mashed potatoes. I do want this to be a stew. Now, I've never had this kind of stew, so I really have no comparison. And if it's at least somewhat edible, I'll probably be pleased at the end of it all. I'm not trying to be Gordon Ramsay over here. I'm just Menuguide in my kitchen having a fun time. Now that it's cold enough to touch, we can start pulling the chicken apart and shredding it. If it boils, you remove it from the heat. So I'm just kind of ripping it into little pieces. And it seems like it's falling apart pretty good. It smells pretty good. You can kind of smell the herbs and seasonings in it. And it's nice, honestly. All right, so we add this back into our stew. It's getting too thick. Okay, I'm gonna, burn myself again. That's the 4th burn. And this one seems salvageable still. It didn't get as thick. All in all, this looks pretty good, right? We got this strange potato in there. Then I will give mine a try as well. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Cool. But I think you can make RuneScape stew with chicken, but I always make it with just regular meat. Like cow beef in RuneScape. Just different ways to go about it, I suppose. It says serve immediately, so even if it looks like it's scrambled egg pudding, let's give it a bite. So I've got a bowl of stew here, and it doesn't look anything like it does in RuneScape. It's too pale. RuneScape stew is like a dark brown. Okay, I actually do like this. This is nice. The texture of the potatoes is a little overdone. So there's like little pieces that kind of mashed off. And that's just on me for poor time management. I wasn't expecting this to be good because I've never had any sort of soup or stew with egg yolks in it. The flavors are really nice though. We didn't add a ton of herbs and seasonings. We just added 3 herbs, a bay leaf, and some salt. And I don't know what to say other than that I like this and that I'm surprised. It's got a nice texture, like not crunchy per se. Waters dewy de poulet. I was really doubtful. I did not trust the process. But it worked. It's so good you want to lick your bowl when you're done. I'm going to go back to those pizzas here. So the oven should be at 500, which I didn't even know ovens could get that hot. And we want to preheat that pizza stone or inverted thing for about 30 minutes. And now we want to turn one of the 4 balls of dough into a 12-inch circle. I've got that nicely floured over here now, as we can see. And so we want to do 1 dough ball at a time. So I think we just shape it into a 10 to 12-inch disc. First, we just make it into a disc. That's the first part. And then we're going to do the second part, which sounds like a harder part. And there's some little pieces that I didn't rip out that are kind of not the right texture. But I'm hoping that it turns out still. I don't know how I'm going to get 12 inches out of this tiny piece of dough. Okay, so I'm going to say we drape it over one fist and then the other fist. I don't think I'm understanding this correctly. It does say let gravity do most of the work. So we just let gravity like drop it and plop it and flop it. You can also gently grip the edges of the circle, letting the dough hang vertically and slowly spin, which is exactly what I am doing. Once the dough is roughly the size you want it, lay on your floured work surface and stretch the rest of the way. I'm going to grab a tape measure because I'm just very curious. It's 9.5 inches. It needs to get ½ an inch bigger. And as long as it's 10 inches, we're good. We don't need the full foot. Uh-oh, I made a hole. Push that kind of back together. At its widest point, it's 10.25. I'll take it. Sprinkle cornmeal all over a pizza peel. If you don't have one, an inverted half-sheet pan will do the trick. So I don't know the difference between a pizza peel or a pizza stone. Working quickly, top with 1/4 of the pizza sauce and some cheese, and then slide it onto a pizza stone. So I feel like we are just sliding this from one inverted pan onto another. If it's not an inverted pan, an inverted cutting board will do the trick, right? I don't really know what's happening, I'll be honest. I knew this kid in high school. He knew how to do all of this, and he was like 14. And I'm 30, and I don't know how to do it. So we're gonna just put that on there, because it's got the grit now. It won't stick. It's doing the gritty. It honestly doesn't give a recipe for pizza sauce, which I feel like for an intermediate recipe, it kind of should. I really can't open this. I'm not doing the whole glass shards thing again. This is maybe a life hack. We'll find out. And then you like pull the duct tape off. That didn't work at all. There we go. You guys know I love doing my fun little silly achievements. Let's see what the level of achievement difficulty is for this one. Medium. Create your own banana pizza recipe using the ingredients mentioned in the head note of Pizza 3 Ways. I don't know why I gotta work so quickly. I don't feel a time pressure. Well, that's sort of been the issue the whole time, hasn't it? I don't know if I have enough cheese because I used some of it, but you really only need half a cup of cheese per pizza, supposedly. Now I'm gonna put that on that very, very hot inverted pan and cook it for 12 to 15 minutes. Trusting the process. Okay. Ah! Did I melt this? That's why it says use a metal pan. Because you're not going to melt metal when you stick it in a 500-degree oven. I only have one cookie sheet, so we're going to just do this same thing 4 times. So now we're pros. We know exactly what's going to go down. We take our little thing. We switch it to be about 10 to 12 inches. My first forming disc. And then we pick it up. And we spin it, and we let gravity do the work. And I'm really impatient about this whole gravity thing. I don't know what Sir Isaac Newton was thinking, but if he could have made it quicker, that would have been nice. This one is a square pizza, and I'm okay with that. Fill in the micro holes the best I can. 10 inches. Perfect. Anchovy pizza. We're gonna do the same thing we just did. This isn't buffalo pizza. This is an abomination. Banana pizza, that's a Swedish thing. And we're about to make this anchovy pizza a Swedish pizza too. I bought these at Whole Foods and they're trendy. So the candy fish in this bag has the shape of a real Swedish anchovy. Its elderflower flavor brings back childhood memories. No, it doesn't. I've never had these before. And they donate part of the proceeds from this product to protect and restore healthy water environments. So top each pizza with cheese and sauce, and then add 6 to 8 anchovies, lining them up like spokes on a bike wheel. That one's upside down, sorry buddy. That one's upside down too. I'm just gonna peek. I might have put my cheese and sauce a little too close to the edge. Okay, so we only have about 2 minutes left, and then I'm gonna do what I can to make the pita bread. And pita bread cooks on a pizza stone or an inverted heavy-duty baking sheet. Okay, so let me grab that dough. Oh, this one looks so much better. This is crazy though, because that other one, it rose for like 10 times as long. And this one looks way nicer. So that pizza is ready to come out. Hello. Actually though, this doesn't look half bad. I think it's maybe a little too overdone. Could be a little less crispy. All right, so this is my anchovy pizza, and we're gonna put that in the oven. All right, that one's a little bit of a disaster. I think I should have just slid that on there. We've got this down to a science though. You'd think I'd eventually get the hang of this. Oh, we are actually making it 5 ways. So I shouldn't have made a plain one. I have an idea. This works out so good. We'll do like a whole wheat pineapple pizza. We'll let that chill over here and we will roll it out with the other one. I'm gonna add fire roasted chicken, roasted bell peppers and mushrooms and all sorts of stuff. It says try not to overload your toppings. I'm using way more cheese already than it calls for. I put way more on this than it said and it looks like a good amount. Look at the bottom of that. That looks decent. They're not sauteed mushrooms. I didn't think that far ahead. So I'm just gonna put like 1 tiny piece of mushroom on it, a vegetarian meatball, and some vegetarian bacon, and some vegetarian sausage. I'm just gonna grab a little piece of each of them. I guess we can put an entire meatball. I don't think I'm gonna use the entire pepper. It's just gonna be too much. And it also says you could use cottage cheese, pepperonis, whatever you want, really. Wow, hot burning air in my eyeballs. That looks pretty solid for an anchovy pizza. And I'm gonna get this pizza in the oven, and we're just gonna keep repeating. I want to try that plain cheese pizza and see how it is. Well, like, it looks like a normal pizza, sort of, right? Let's see. It could use more sauce, actually. It's pizza. It's definitely pizza. I'm not a fan of the crust, but the places where you've got toppings are nice. Nothing like the taste of botulism straight from the can. And then you want to add mortadella. This smells not good. For me, I'm going to say that's plenty. I don't want to be mean and say it's bad, but it's not very good. I think I have the timer for this one going already, so I better get this in the oven. And now we are doing that last pizza. And this one's a medium achievement. We roll into a disc. One of these days I'm going to get it right and not make any mistakes, but we'll see if that's today or not. And then you just turn, and like gravity do its thing. It is getting a bit smoking. I don't lie and say it smells not like smoke, because it does smell like smoke here, unfortunately. I'm going to put a little sprinkle of cornmeal on a little pizza platter, add some sauce. And I think I said I could use more sauce, right? We'll go a little heavy on the sauce this time. And spread the sauce all the way out. And we're just going to put what's left of the cheese, I think, on here. This is a little cheese heavy. So this is going to be a banana pizza. And apparently they're good with pineapple on it too. So I'm going to add some pineapple because I love pineapple on pizza. Although not for everyone's palate, the unique combination of sliced bananas, nuts, curry leaves, and cooked chicken gained a loyal following. And I've got peanuts because I believe peanuts are traditional. But I also think walnuts are good with bananas. And I don't eat cooked chicken, but I had this thing and it's got a warning on the label that says made of some sort of mushroom fungus that people can die from. I'm just gonna put some of that on there. Oh, it's kind of like juicy inside, honestly. Moist. A little bit of pineapple on there. We add the banana over here. Put you there. And I can never find curry leaves at the store. It's always curry powder. A little bit of walnuts here. This has to go on the pizza stones after, but I can divide it into probably not 8, but like 6 pieces. And while I'm rolling this piece out, the other stuff gets covered with a damp cloth. The elite ingredient here is snapdragon buds. And I will put all 5 of those on this singular pizza. This is our pineapple pizza. It looks pretty good, all things considered. All right, so we've got this last little banana pizza. We just got to find out how to make this pita bread. We want to roll it to about 8 inches and 1/8 of an inch thick. And we're going to do 2 of them at once. And they cook for 3 to 5 minutes each. And you could probably use a rolling pin for this. I'm just not gonna. Science and play are kind of the same thing until someone dies. Some food for thought, I suppose. It actually just... it was kind of folded in on itself, but it didn't want to be folded in on itself. These bonds have formed with the gluten, and it doesn't want to form its other shape. And then I have this little piece now. I'll just make some Franken pita. It's fine. The Capitol did plenty of experiments on pita. We've got our little pitas here. We just need Katniss. For some reason, my chat wasn't scrolling, and I was just straight up ignoring everybody. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go grab that last pizza. This one doesn't look quite as bubbly and toasty. The combination of banana and curry almost smells good together. I won't lie to you. I gotta get these little pita breads in the oven. And that's it. We just cook these for 3 to 5 minutes and then they're done. Whoa. Ah! And hey, it says they're gonna look light and puffy, and they do. They look puffy now. Honestly, yeah, it works. It's a little like crunchy on one side. I would prefer if it were a little bit softer. The elite ingredient for this is reindeer meat if in season. And it is in season because it's not Christmas time. If you are doing this, you can use AnthemKing kebab. This kind of folds up into a nice wrap. You can't go wrong with bread. Yeah, even a stale baguette is a good baguette. Just snack on some bread, YOLO. We made pizza and pizza and a lot of other different pizzas. And those are elite because they do have those clean snapdragon buds. We made pita, elite with reindeer meat. We made stew, not so elite, with this strange potato.